Okay, so welcome, and let us get started in a moment, guys. All right. Alright, so what happens now? Okay, I think that's the most important thing, and based on what we've already been seeing, that today has actually been a very good night on the trades. And if you guys haven't been making trades, I'm afraid that it's going to take some time before any great particular movement could be happening on the market, guys. Alright, so I think if you guys haven't been making any trades, maybe you guys could focus on being bullish next, guys, because obviously the market movement is heading towards that directions, and if you guys are still bearish towards it, I think you guys have a big problem ahead. So definitely, if you guys are asking me what are my thoughts, I would certainly suggest that you guys should be making trades on the bullish note if you guys haven't been making any trades. And let's say on this kind of case right now, on this 1 hour chart, you guys could actually make some good trades as well. Okay, so for instance, you guys can actually see that for this case. So let's say you are long at the current price, you set your risk around here, try to aim on the higher side, you guys could still get a pretty good risk reward ratio. At the very least, aim for 3405, 3405, 3410, and that could be a very good one. But certainly the lower the better, and since we are on our premium group signals, we have already been noticing it earlier on, and when the breakout happens, we immediately executed the trades, have done pretty well, and even hit our third profit target at the highest at 3398. So if you guys are right now currently watching, you guys should have been able to take some profits at the third profit target. Okay, so yes, hello PL, good evening. Hope you have been following the trades. At the very least, I think if you guys are a bit late, you guys should be able to take that gold trade on your positions as well. Okay, and certainly from what we have been watching so far, the market reactions that we have been receiving is very positive, and the consolidations that we have been seeing since yesterday has actually building up very well, even though yesterday hasn't been a very well night, I will admit it. And certainly you guys could actually see that by your own. If you guys have been trading on your own, trading on the sideways, it's pretty hard, and certainly I am trying to avoid most of those kind of market movements. As you guys could see right now, we are watching through the 1 hour charts, and based on the 1 hour charts, we are actually looking at how yesterday's market movement is moving. So let us get into it for now. So if you guys are paying a closer attention on this left hand side of the window right now, so I'm not sure whether you guys could see it or not, but certainly based on the market reactions that we have been watching yesterday, where most of the time we are getting false breakdown and false breakout multiple times across the time. So if you guys are watching this right now, there's two circles that I've been pointing out here. So one on the left hand side is the time when we are trading on a Tuesday market, and on the right hand side we are seeing a second circle, which is the Wednesday trades. And basically what you guys are actually looking at is the sideways movement across 2 days until we suddenly get a little bit of a boost at the later market hour sessions after all of the events has been released. So it's taking quite some time before we actually see this one big candlestick right at the end of the day, I would say, and prices has been going up pretty fast. Yet after going that fast, we started to see that prices are once again almost returning back towards the sideways trend again, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So that's a good thing. At least we started to get some much more clarity, and right now we are using 1 hour time frame charts, guys, just in case you guys didn't notice. And afterwards we started to see that prices are reconsolidating right after the London sessions. Prices are starting to build up on higher grounds, even though the movement hasn't been that strong until the last 2 hours happened, guys. Alright, so after the last 2 hours, we started to see that prices has immediately broke out higher, and that has been resulting in a very good positions where currently, if you guys have already been making the trades based on what we have already been recommending, at the very least you guys should have been getting 100 plus pips just based on one signals. And on the other hand of the signals, we also do share the silver trade signals as well. But what does this implicate us on the gold market movement in the long run, guys? Alright, so because once prices starts to break out 3,400, a lot of things could happen, and a lot of the momentums that we are watching could be changing soon, guys. Alright, so let us take a look at the daily charts. I'm going to switch to another chart so you guys can see that clearly. So once prices has the ability to break out higher than 3,430, as you guys could see, and if I want to get more clarity, I will be waiting for prices breaking out the previous high at around 3,500 exactly, guys. Okay, so on the long-term market, it seems that everything has been smoothing out very well. Prices has been consolidating for almost 2 months, and actually right now I'm currently started to notice a chart pattern that is forming, but I won't be speaking about it here, so I'll be talking about it on my VIP live sessions. But it is certainly a very clear chart pattern that is building up right now, and the consolidation is really well, and with a lot of things happening behind the scenes in terms of geopolitical tensions, whether it's about the war or whether it's about the trade tensions, everything seems likely to push gold higher. And definitely on the long term, I would still prefer to wait for confirmations rather than get shake out of the market early on, as we started to enter 343 area later on, if that happens tonight. Okay, so we still have major news event tonight. I think it should be coming up from the US trade balance, so that really could be giving us a little bit of outcome based on what we are trying to see that could be happening on the market. So US trade balance will be one of the key events that I'll be watching up closely, and if the trade balance is moving well according to what the US president is hoping to get, I think that could be a good thing. So I am sure that you guys couldn't see that much, so on the top of the window you guys could see the balance words, and seems that the expectations is the trade balance has been diminishing towards 66 billion. So it's a big massive drop, and that could really show that his policy has been moving well and gives the results that he's trying to achieve. And also at the same time, we'll be having the US initial jobless claims. I believe it's usually on Thursday as well, so it seems that job market should be also showing the same kind of results that we are expecting coming up from the market news that has been released for the last 2 days from the ADP and the JOLTS news. Okay, so far this is what I'm looking at. Probably could be starting to become much more positive and bullish on the gold market once prices starts to break out higher than 3430 area, and we'll see how that goes on afterwards. All right, so back to our usual charts, and let us watch through 30-minute time frame charts, guys. All right, so as you guys know, since I'm a swing trader, I'm a trend follower, this kind of market movement really gives me the ease and gives much more clarity on the trades, as price movement has been much clearer. And basically, if you guys have been following the trades, right now we have already hit the peak at 3,400. So one of my 2 suggestions for you guys who are in my premium signals group right now, and if you guys are interested, you guys could join it by clicking the profile and click the link on my profile. And there's actually 2 suggestions that you guys could follow. First, if you guys are still holding the trades, congrats. That means at the very least on your hand, you should have been getting some good profits. And second, I would suggest, if you guys are afraid, you guys could take profit at the 3rd profit target that we have already been sharing with you guys. Or you guys could actually hold it and adjust your stop losses towards the 1st profit target. So if you guys wanted to continue to see the bullishness and keep on making great gains, you guys could actually consider to do that. Or the 3rd option is you can take half of your positions in profit and then hold the remaining half and try to see how the rest of the market works, because let us remember, we still have a lot of things that could be happening this week, especially for the non-farm payrolls data. Okay, so that could be a positive news, but everything I'll be returning it towards you for you guys to decide how you guys could do. But certainly, profit is a profit, no matter how much or less. It's still a good day to trade for today. Alright, so that's the view on the gold market movement, short term and long term, and hope you guys got a little bit of insights. Basically, we started to see the building up very well, breakout is happening, and the momentum is also sustained as of now. And alright, I am tipping after some consolidation happens. Alright, no worries PL, and it's all back to you. At the very least, I would say if you are considering to take profit above what I'm recommending, that's still a good thing. But I would say, as long as you are tracking it and you are putting price alerts in case anything happens, I think that should be fine. Alright. And for now, yes, the momentum is still pretty strong and hasn't really shown any big signs of slowing down. So I will try to keep updating you guys what's really happening, and you guys could also let me know if there's anything happening. But I think 3,400 itself is also a pretty strong resistance. So if you guys are asking me what should I do best on a neutral basis, I would suggest take half of the profits and keep up the remaining half of the positions, if you guys are asking me, to be safe. Okay, but I'll be letting you guys decide about it. Okay, so now let us move on towards the silver market movement, because I think silver market movement is much more interesting compared to gold. And certainly if you guys are missing out on the silver trade, you guys shouldn't be missing out on the gold. So let us try to discuss what is happening on the silver market for now. And what is actually happening on the silver market? So it seems that the silver market is breaking up pretty fast in such a huge fashion, I would say. Prices are breaking out $34.80 in a very quick manner, and once I notice it, I immediately share out some signals, and even I do type the wrong numbers, but eventually you guys got the idea that what I'm trying to say is prices started to breaking up higher, and all the directions that we are seeing is likely to be positive, and we managed to hit our 3rd profit target. But I think if you guys are still holding the trades on silver, guys, and for PL, one of the things that I would say, maybe you guys could consider to hold this, because the positions, the strength, the consistency that we are seeing through the silver market is much stronger than gold. So for this silver market case, if you guys are still holding on it, I would suggest that you guys could still try to hold your positions and try to see whether prices could hit $36 this night, because it seems that everything is heading towards that direction, especially after the significant strength that is coming out in the market. Okay, Hope that helps you guys, especially the profits on silver is very appetizing. I know that's always been the case, and that's why if you guys are still holding the trades on the silver for PL, try to make sure that you guys see that through. Okay, but what is happening on the long-term market, on the silver market? So as I've always said to you guys, that since prices has been able to hold above $34 for most of the times, and certainly that is a good thing. And right now we are already achieving back towards the price movement going higher and higher, and it seems that prices are likely to try to maintain its support area around $35 on the long run. So this is daily charts, and what I'm really seeing throughout here is the possibility that prices should be able to continue to go higher afterwards, especially after the build up is pretty well, I would say. And later on I will be discussing what I'm actually seeing and what could be the potential price target on the long term on my VIP live sessions as well. So if you guys are interested, you guys could join me, and I'll be letting you guys know what I'm actually seeing on the silver market, and based on the recent consolidations, what could be the next price target for the silver market on the long run. But certainly if you guys are asking me, is it safe, is it bullish? Yes, certainly it's bullish. Certainly the price movement is very well, but after such a significant strength, and right now prices has already been going up by 3.3% for the day, I'm expecting that prices should be trying to slow down after hitting $36, but we'll see. And we still have another news tonight, straight balance and the US initial jobless claims, so we'll see how that goes later on tonight. Okay, but certainly the prospect on the silver market has already been bright and positive. That is certainly the case for now, guys. Okay, so for both gold and silver, everything seems very fine, very well, and prices are still moving towards the right directions. But let us remind ourselves that we are right now seeing on the short-term time frame, there's a little bit of a short-term resistance around $35.80. So we'll see how prices react towards those prices, whether prices could be breaking out higher or not. And I believe that could also be impacting the gold market movement as well, where prices right now are trying to break out of the resistance at 3,400, because every rounded number in the hundreds or thousands usually is considered as one of the strong resistance area. So make sure you guys pay attention to those. As for the reason I've never been drawing a line, because prices just touches slightly 3,400 and then drops pretty fast, so there's no big lines. But 3,400 certainly is considered as one of the resistance areas, so that's why it's also part of our third TP for tonight on the gold market too. Okay, so right now, after seeing that happening, what should we be expecting coming out from the market? Because so far with the market consolidations, I mean with how the market movement has been moving on both gold and silver, something should have happened that really helped to push up gold prices. And usually that will be the case when we are actually seeing the possibility that the US dollar index are weakening, that could really help to push up gold and silver prices. So let's take a short look on the US dollar index to actually get a little bit of a picture what is actually happening on the US dollar index. So certainly it seems that from the picture that we could be watching right now, the US dollar index hasn't been moving much, and the drop isn't that much as well. For today, the drop is just at around minus 10 points, so certainly the US dollar index hasn't been moving much. But later on, we'll be trying to watch out what is actually happening on the US dollar index charts, so we can actually see clearly what is actually happening and what really helped to push up gold prices if it's not helped by the US dollar index. Okay, so we'll see what really happened, and let us try to assess the situations, whether for both gold and silver they could try to break out of the resistance for the next 5 minutes. If not, we'll try to assess the situations on the US dollar index with you guys soon. Okay, so for silver, current price resistance at around $35.80, so we'll see how that goes. And for the gold market, 3,400 still remains resistance for now. Okay, so far prices are still moving pretty well. The price reactions are still trying to break out higher, so that's a very good sign. And if you are watching through 15-minute time frame charts, 30-minute time frame charts, everything should be moving quite well, guys. Alright. So we'll see. Once prices breaks out 3,400, I believe that silver market should be trying to reach $36. So we'll see how that goes. Certainly the price momentum is still moving very well. That is certainly what we are seeing as of now. It's not going to change much unless something happens big, which I am not really seeing one yet in terms of the news. So I don't really see any big worry or concerns for now, guys. Alright. Okay, so far not any big news. We should be able to see that gold should be able to break higher for now, and I believe that should be the case on silver too, guys. Alright. Yep, so everything seems to move pretty well here on the silver market side. Not much of a worry for now. Okay. Maybe this is a very good consolidation, and this could actually warrant it a good entry point again. Around this area. But we'll see, guys. Okay, so saying the higher the riskier, but the movement is likely to get warranted an additional entry point around this price, guys. Okay, so the good consolidations is formed. So prices keeps on going high, guys. Should be no worries on the gold market movement as well. Okay, so I think right now could be a good time for us to analyze other things, and if there's any big changes in the market. So for instance, if silver prices touch $36 or if gold market touched 3,410, hope you guys could let me know. Okay, so let us move on, try to analyze what is happening on the US dollar index. So what actually happened on the US dollar index? So I know that maybe you guys are watching just in a glance, you guys could actually see that, okay? Seems that the US dollar index hasn't been moving much. You guys could see that the drop in this 1 hour time frame charts, it's just a slight drop, $98.88 towards $98.70. Yes, that's very true. But one of the major things that we are watching, if you guys are taking a bigger time frame view on the US dollar index, is right now prices are trying to break the low of the week, guys. So it's around $98.50, and right now prices at $98.70. And there is certainly a clear market movement that we could actually be noticing coming out from the US dollar index. Is prices are starting to move in a clear trend rather than the ones that we are watching through the charts that I've been circling around here. And so that's why we are started to see that gold and silver could start to move, because for the very first time, I think on this week, we started to see that there's actually a bit of clearer market directions, and it is also boosted and also followed by the momentum happening on the gold market and the silver market. Compared to the first day, I would say Monday, yes, the market has been much better, but afterwards we are not seeing anything. And today we started to see that the market reaction is much clearer than yesterday. So this is actually a good sign, and definitely there's no doubt that the price movement is showing that prices, despite slowing down, moving on a range, but the eventual directions that we are watching is still pretty clear. Prices are still weakening on the US dollar index, and if I'm switching towards the daily charts, there should be no doubt about the weaknesses appearing in the US dollar index, and this should be continuing. And going forward, I'm expecting that the US dollar index should be continuing weakening as well in the long run, guys. Okay, so I think there's already no doubt about why we are started to see that the US dollar index, I mean the gold market, could be going higher. I think the reason is pretty clear, and there's no change or no doubt about the long-term market movement that we have already been watching so far. And obviously that could really help to push up gold prices, and if you guys are still holding the trades, that's a good thing, as I've suggested, as market movement has started to move much better than initially expected. So yes, I've said this could be a very good entry point, but it certainly possesses risks that we are not getting the ones who entering at lower prices. That is certainly the case. So if you guys are interested, you guys could actually get a good entry point down there. But I think with the current prices that has already been jumping, it's a total of 130 pips already, guys, and the move is pretty significant on the silver market compared to gold. So if you guys are thinking about risk, maybe you guys could try your shot on the gold market, where the risk will be a bit limited and a bit measured compared to the silver market, but everything has its own pros and cons. So you guys could try to take a look on gold if you guys are trying to limit your risk. If you guys are trying to be more aggressive, you guys could try to time your entry at the silver market movement. Okay, so what are we seeing on the other side of the trades for now? So I think if you guys are asking me, silver will definitely dominate the trade for today. With the kinds of movement that we have been watching so far, there's no doubt the aggressiveness will be much dominated by the silver market compared to the gold. And just a slight look on the oil market, I'm expecting that the oil market should be still ranging, as I've expected since yesterday. $64 is a very key criteria, and so far we are not seeing anything yet happening from there. So I think I'll be watching and trying to see how the oil market movement will be moving, and whether the consolidations could be happening soon. Especially we know that the oil market has been consolidating and hasn't been able to offer us any clear trends. And back on the gold, silver, everything is moving quite well. Prices are going higher and higher, so seems pretty fine, nothing much of a trouble for now. And with the continuations and the momentum that we are watching so far, shouldn't be any problem. And $36 is going to be hit soon, guys. Alright, so if you guys are still holding the trades on our premium signals group, congrats. It's almost plus 1000 pips, but unfortunately I've been giving a pretty short-term price target even for the third profit target, as the movement is out of my expectations for today, guys. Alright. Okay, so since we have already been discussing about the gold market, silver market, and the US dollar index, I think it's the best thing if we continue discussing about the currency strength charts. So I think we'll be trying to assess how things are going on both gold and silver in the moment, and if everything goes well, we should be able to see where the next market movement will be heading on the currency side, because so far currency market movement has been a bit slower, as you guys could see, despite there's some clear movements coming out from the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, very much similar with yesterday. But overall today I think it's actually showing us a much better market movement compared to yesterday, so we'll try to see how that happens for today, guys. Alright. So silver market movement starts to slow down. I should be expecting the same thing. So after breaking higher, we should be, after breaking the resistance, I'm expecting that prices should be slowing down, as it's usually the case, guys. So be aware about it. And maybe it's going to take a little bit more time to actually see the momentum continue afterwards, guys. Because there's no way that prices could keep on continuing to go higher and higher at every single candlestick. And right now we are watching at 15-minute time frame charts, guys. Alright, so need to be aware about it too, that there's no way that market movement could be continue going higher every single candlestick, especially on this very short-term chart. So be aware, guys. I think that's my suggestions for you, especially after seeing how silver market also starts to slow down a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But at the very least, we are seeing that the consolidation is happening on the silver, but it's not happening on the gold after breaking 3390 area. Okay, guys, prices are already starting to slow down. Be aware, as I've told you guys. If you guys are right now considering to enter additional positions, I would suggest that this should not be a good time anymore, guys. So if you guys are enjoying our live streaming so far, you guys are welcome to give us your likes, give us your thumbs up, and don't forget to follow and subscribe so that you guys don't miss out on our analysis, on our market insights that we are sharing with you guys. And definitely if you guys are enjoying and you guys make some good trades out of our analysis, you guys are also welcome to share our video with your friends and anyone that you guys know are interested to learn or try to trade on the market. At the very least, they could get some informations and discussions with us together on this live streaming sessions, guys. Alright. Okay, so it seems that despite the slowdown, the momentum is still there. Gold prices are still trying to break higher, so we'll see how long this could go. But certainly, if you guys are asking my opinion, every single candlestick going up higher is certainly not sustainable on the short term, and I would love to see how the market reaction works after hitting 3408 area, guys, because yep, right now market is a little bit dubious, I would say, guys. All right. Okay, so now let us try to assess the situations of the currency structure. So as you guys already know, that despite the US dollar index hasn't been actually moving that much for today, but certainly the signs of weaknesses are there. And one of the main things that I've been watching throughout the day on these live streaming sessions with you guys together is the possibility that the currency structure has actually shown us some clear market winners on the market for today. As you guys could actually see that the New Zealand dollar has actually been moving pretty well together alongside with the Australian dollar. But the winners are always accompanied with losers, and we actually see for today that the Japanese yen is weakening together alongside with the safe haven currency Swiss franc. So we're going to see both currency, how they fare against the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, and try to see where we could actually be making some good moves out of this. And certainly most of the other currency has been a little bit mixed together alongside with the GBP, pound sterling, Canadian dollar after last night's BOC decisions, and the European dollar. I mean the euro. So we'll try to assess things from there. So Australian dollar. So Australian dollar has actually been moving quite well. Prices are trying to break up, going higher and higher, and certainly last night market movement has started to slow down, but everything seems pretty well on the Australian dollar, with prices has been able to break out higher and higher. And even despite the slowness and the tight movement that we are watching, prices are likely to head higher afterwards if prices could continue to sustain the momentum in the long term. And right now we are watching through daily charts. So Australian dollar against the USD, AUD USD could be a very good pair to trade on the long side, even though the momentum right now is a little bit dissipating, but you guys could try to find a better entry point after the breakout happened. Okay, other than that, the New Zealand dollar USD could also be one of the choice, but if you guys are asking me, I still prefer to do trades on the Australian dollar side. Okay, and next I think AUD Japanese yen could still be a very good choice, despite that prices has already tried to go higher, but prices initially dropped before prices returning to exactly the same price that we are watching yesterday. And definitely so far the price reaction hasn't been well. Prices haven't been able to break to another new high, so I think I'll be skipping this for now. I'm not really seeing the great momentum too. And what else? GBP USD, not much, but at least yes, the market movement is really showing us that the pound sterling and the euro is also a little bit mixed for today, guys. Okay, what else? Yep, so it seems that US dollar is starting to get some strength, and I think that's why we started to see the slowdown. But overall the momentum is still pretty much positive, and we are still seeing that prices are still going much faster, guys. Alright, especially on the silver, it's always the case. Prices are still trying to break higher despite the US dollar index strengthening a little bit for now, just a very short period of time, but we should start to see prices slow down, guys. Alright, so that's what I should be watching after such a long period of times of rises. It's very normal for us to actually started to see that prices should be slowing down for now. Okay, so I hope you guys have been watching, and I've already been telling you guys I'm suspecting that price movement has been a bit dubious and fishy, and hope you guys have already been making some good trading profit positions if you guys are still holding the trades. I certainly hope that's the case, because I'm not really seeing any further continuations, and I've been telling you guys multiple times that prices couldn't continue to go higher every single candlestick on a very short period of time. We are going to see a little bit of a consolidations. So I hope you guys have been taking a note on those sites, because it's usually the case, guys. You couldn't be actually seeing that people will continue to run, guys. You should see people that starts to slow down after running for quite some times, and it's also the same case for charts, guys. Alright, so if you guys are still holding trades on both gold and silver, hope you guys have already been taking the note to take profits now. I think that is the best time for now with this kind of market movement, and I even have been recommending you guys earlier on before the drop. So hope you guys have been securing your good profits on the higher side, despite it couldn't be happening every time, but at the very least sometimes it could be happening right at our own front eyes. Alright, so I think with the currency market has been moving in that kind of directions, and so far we started to see that the US dollar index has started to return to get some little bit of a strength, and I think I would start to decline for you guys to make the momentum trades on Australian dollar USD, as the US dollar index starts to strengthen. And for now, I'm not really seeing any great trades that could be coming up from here. So I think I'll be avoiding to do a lot of trades on the currency market. If you guys are asking me for any good possible scenario, maybe I think still waiting for now. Try to see when the momentum on the US dollar index starts to weaken again. You guys could try to trade on the AUD USD for the longs. And for the shorts, I'm not really seeing any good chances as of now. So I think I will be skipping on that part for the short side. So tonight, strength still coming up from the AUD and NZD side of the market, guys. Alright. So try to pay attention when the market starts to break out. That could actually give you signs AUD USD and NZD USD. But for now, staying put will be the best case of scenario, guys. Okay. So yep, prices slows down and trying to reconsolidate immediately, but I'm suspecting that prices should be slowing down after touching this area, guys. Alright, so pay attention. And for silver, I'm expecting that prices should be consolidating back towards $35.50 area, so around those ranges, guys. Okay, so near that we should be seeing prices slow down. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. But yep, I couldn't deny that the momentum is quite strong, continuing, but the movement won't be as nice as the ones that we have been seeing over the past 1 hour plus, guys. Alright, so we'll see how this goes, whether the consolidations is over and immediately goes back higher, which I could see that happening in a very small probability happening, and I'm more likely to see consolidations around the resistance area 3,400, guys. Okay. So far, if you guys are enjoying our live streaming sessions and analysis, you guys are welcome to follow and subscribe if you guys haven't done so that you guys don't miss out on any key information that I'm sharing, insights. And if you guys wanted to get more analysis about the long-term market movement on both gold and silver, don't forget to follow me and chat me up on the link on my profile, guys. So I will let you guys to get access on my VIP live sessions. It's free for now, so you guys can take the chance and try to explore our benefits, guys. And definitely I would say a lot of things could happen if prices starts to break out higher on the daily charts. It certainly will be the main and the key criteria that I'm looking out on the market. But for now, profit is profit, secure, take some rest, and definitely don't be too tense, guys. You guys gotta be relaxed so that you guys can trade properly. Alright, so since we still have some times before the US initial jobless claims that will be released in another 1 hour plus, so I think it's right around my VIP live sessions. So if you guys wanted to get the continuations of our analysis on how the market reactions will be working next, check the link on my profile or the video descriptions. Click on the link, chat me up. You want to get access on VIP live, you want to get access on my free premium signals too. Okay. For now, I should be slowing down a little bit as everything has been going pretty much in line with our view. Should have a little bit of resistance at 3,400, and we'll see how this consolidation works. And in a moment, I think I'll be continuing analyzing what is happening on the all market with you guys, and I don't really see any big changes initially, but let us see. Who knows, anything started to change immediately after we started to watch the all market sessions. Okay, so if you guys are loving it, thank you very much for your likes and your support, guys, for your likes and thumbs up. And definitely, if you guys are enjoying it, you guys could actually invite your friend to follow our live streaming sessions, and you guys could trade together, learn to trade at the very least, and have a discussions with me too. Okay, guys. Okay, so since we have still some time, let us try to discuss what's happening on the oil market first. Okay, so what is happening? So if you guys are watching in a glance, you guys can actually analyze it on your own, and it's definitely not a lot of the differences. And since we started to analyze on the oil market since the start of this week, guys, okay, so nothing much has changed. Prices has been consolidating, moving on the sideways. Not a lot of big surprises, so to say. And I would say this is definitely not the market that I would love to trade, guys. Especially last night when prices are trying to break out higher than $64.15. It's temporarily doing so, but the momentum isn't really there. And actually there's a big news happening on the market that really helped to push down the oil market, but I will be letting you guys know on my VIP live sessions about what is the reason we are seeing that oil prices starts to hit back lower when prices are starting to try to break out higher than $64.15. So if you guys wanted to get the exclusive insights about what I'm seeing on the market on gold, silver and oil, you guys could check the link on my profile and the link on the video descriptions, and you guys could get access to it, what is happening behind the scenes around the market, guys. Alright, so but definitely if you guys are just watching from technical perspective, you guys are actually seeing it very clear that prices is just been moving on very tight ranges, and most of the market movement is represented by 1 hour to 2 hour movement, and then prices are rebounding. And basically this is the trend that you guys are watching throughout the week, and this is certainly not the market I would love and I wish to trade. And usually in this kind of market scenario, I will just skip on and try to find another trading assets that is trending much better. Okay. And certainly if you are watching towards the long-term market side, nothing much has changed since we have conducted our analysis. I would still prefer to see how prices react after prices break out high $64.15 and try to maintain the prices above it. If not, we are going to see prices stuck around this area as nothing much has changed until now. Okay, so let us see on the gold market, is there any changes for now? I'm really not expecting anything big happening, but let us see. We should start to see prices should be slowing down around these hours after that significant rise. And just to remind you guys that the drop is accompanied with a huge volume, and that is certainly not a good thing in any market scenario, guys. So we'll see how that goes, and definitely the same thing should be happening on the silver market, but at the very least silver market momentum is much greater than gold, so I think that really brings the difference from gold and silver. But risk wise, it's very much better on the gold side, guys. Alright, so we'll try to watch out here, and if there's any big changes happening, I'll let you guys know. Okay, So let me take a little bit of a bathroom break. I'll be back with you guys soon. Okay guys, I'm back. So not much of a change, and I'm expecting that prices should be slowing down until the end of our live streaming sessions here guys. But one of the main things that I love to see is if a healthy correction should be coming on the market, prices should be correcting down to here before prices has the chance to return higher. So I would definitely love to see this kind of market scenario happening on gold, and if prices consolidates around this area, that should be the best case scenario on the market guys. So that really builds up the room for prices to continue to go high afterwards guys. Alright. Okay, so far market reactions is much guys, so we'll try to see how this moves, but certainly my best expectations for a healthier market movement is a healthy corrections around here, consolidating, and then prices could be going higher next. And certainly with this kind of market reactions, I'm expecting that the US dollar index should be strengthening as of now. So Definitely the currency trades that we have been talking about recently should not be a good trade for now, with the strength coming back on the US dollar index, and I prefer to wait for another breakout to get a clear momentum on the market. And what else, guys? Alright, so against the safe haven currency, I am not really seeing clear momentums too. It's just a temporary movement that I'm watching because of the US dollar index returning, coming back on strength. And definitely you guys should be asking me, is this a good chance to do shorts? I'm afraid that price movement won't be able to drop that much if the momentum still continues, so I would prefer to wait out, try to see how this moves, even though right now could be possessing a very good risk ratio, but definitely there's no clear direction. It's just a part of the bounce, so it's part of the market trend, but it's not really the chase or the movement that I'm trying to make out of this. So I'll prefer to wait out and sit this out, try to see how that goes, because certainly, especially in the silver market, there's a potential that prices could even consolidate towards the lower area, $35.50. Okay, alright, so maybe for gold there's some hope, there's some chances for corrections to happen until that price, but as always, you guys know that market could be moving on its own. We can try to see and react after the market is giving us confirmation. And for now, I think we still have some time, so let us try to assess the situation. Maybe in a little bit I'll be trying to discuss what could be happening on the silver market. I mean the stock indices if we have some time, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so it seems that prices are not really moving now, and it's a little bit boring, so let us try to see the stock indices and see whether there's any big changes happening right now. So I think after the news that has been released last night, I guess, if I'm not wrong, around these hours, we started to see that the US economy is also slowing down, and that's why we are seeing that right now on this 15-minute time frame charts in the US 100 stock indices, prices are literally moving on this range for once again, guys. And certainly this kind of market reaction isn't good, and I was expecting that prices should be able to break out higher immediately, since I've already been seeing that the US stock indexes has chances to return towards the higher ground, and this is part of the trading signals that we are sharing yesterday. And so far I've still been bullish on the US stock indexes, but with the current market movement that we have been watching, and with the current sentiment that we have been seeing coming up from the gold market, we should be seeing that the stock indexes should be slowing down, and it's definitely the case. But it's usually a bit weird where we are not really seeing the correlation where stock indexes almost hitting back towards record high and gold prices are moving in the same direction. So there are only two case scenarios that we are watching right now on this correlation side. It's either the gold market is wrong or whether the stock indexes is wrong. So it's never going to be right on both sides, and we'd love to see how this moves later on with this kind of market situation, because it's going to take some time before we actually do see something coming out from here. And as usual, we know that usually before the market hour trades on the stock indexes, we should be able to see that movement will be a bit slower, but afterwards we should be able to see the real market reactions happening on the market. At usually after most of the events is out, we could actually see the real strength coming out on the US stock indexes. But so far prices are a little bit under pressure, it's a bit stagnant, and nothing much from here. So I would love to see how the market reactions will be working after most of the events for tonight will be released, and how is the market reactions going to be for tonight. But certainly, despite the slowdown, I'm still seeing the bullish signs are there, and we'd love to see how this goes. And I'm expecting that not only just the US 100 should be moving well, we should expect that the US 500 should also be trying to break out higher than 6,000, which has been quite a strong resistance, and there's a couple of resistances up there, so it's going to take some time before that happens. But everything is moving very well on both the stock indices, and the US 30 or the Dow 30 is certainly lagging compared to the rest of the pack, but signs are pretty well, and usually with the lagging coming up from the US 30 is a very normal and common theme happening in the market. So I'm still very much bullish on the US 100. So if you guys are investing on the stock market and do some trades on it, I hope you guys have been doing well. Personally, I'm also doing trades on the stock market, and so far everything has been going well. Okay, so PL, are you also investing on the stock market on the US side or anything? Can you guys let me know? I'm very much interested to know. But definitely if you guys are investing or trading on the stock market, recent months it's a bit volatile, but overall prices have already been returning towards its previous high or close towards that. Okay, so personally I'm still very much optimistic, because other than the US 100 stock indices itself, we also start to see that good signs are happening across the world. So if we are checking the stock indices on the Germany side, seems that prices have already been breaking record prices, and not at the moment. Alright, so no worries. And definitely like stock indices on the Germany 40 is actually been doing very well. And also if you are checking out the UK stock indices is trying to break out higher grounds, and so far prices are still reconsolidating for once. So it's going to take some time before we actually do see something happening on the market. But overall, the signs all over the world are showing very positive signs. I shouldn't be that worried, and bullishness should come on most of the stock indices around the world. Alright, so pay attention. US 100 is a little bit leading in the stock indices on the US side, so you guys could take attention to those, or the Germany stock indices, guys. Okay. Alright, so let us back towards the gold. Try to see what is happening now. Is there any big changes happening? Okay. For now, prices are right again, consolidating, but not as how I'm expecting, but should be fine. At the very least, prices has been well pretty fast. We shouldn't be able to see instant or direct movement a lot. Okay, crude oil drop. Okay, so let us try to see. Yep, the drop is right now is already rebounding too, I'm afraid. So the overall signs are still showing that prices are still consolidating, guys, at the long run. So I don't think I'll be doing much move here. And if you guys are doing some trades here, I would definitely suggest that you guys should be cautious, guys, because market movement here is a little bit ranging over the past 1 week, guys. Okay, for me it's a no for me. Yep, and definitely the tendency for all is trying to go higher. It's not going to drop much on the long run. So let us see how this works until the end of our live streaming sessions, because personally I'm not expecting any big moves until the new sessions, and we'll see afterwards. Okay, so let us see. Yes, the strong drop yesterday, not sure if there's any news. Actually there is, but I'll be discussing about it at the VIP live sessions. Alright, PL, and for everyone, if you guys are here, if you guys are interested to get the access towards it, you guys can check the link on my profile in the video descriptions and chat me that you guys wanted to get the access on VIP live sessions that I'll be covering on tonight's session. It hits my SN in a few seconds before hitting my TP. Yeah, I mean, PL, that's always been the case, as price movement is a little bit ranging, and that has always been the case. So maybe to mitigate that, I could give you a little bit of suggestions. First, when it's very close to your TP, you can try to open your charts and manual close it, because sometimes it does happen. Because when market is ranging, and you guys could actually see that happening when there's suddenly a different market momentum is appearing in the market. Let's say US dollar index is strengthening, or suddenly prices are starting to slow down. It's usually the case where we set our prices. It's usually near the resistance, near the support, and that is usually giving us a very small room to hit our profit target, but it didn't hit. So one of the ways that you can mitigate, maybe lower a little bit of your TP at some point of time, because that could also be the case sometimes on my premium signals where it's very close, just shy 0.001%, $0.01, and prices just drops afterwards and hits SL. It's always been the case and always part of a trade. Or second, you can let the trading plan work on its own, and it's part of the game to almost hitting the target price, but instead it hits stop losses. It's always going to happen on the market, because you're not going to be able to watch every single trade when it's going to very close and whether it's going to hit the TP. It's not going to happen every time. You can watch that and you can manually close it. So just a little bit of suggestions. It's not ideal, but certainly that is the way to circumvent it. Okay. Okay. Alright, seems that we are not going to see a lot of movements now, guys. Alright, you guys want to rebound it, so I think that could be building up a good consolidations on later market hours. Yes, just wanted to hit and back to SL. We'll monitor closely for that, and definitely you can use that if you have some time and just right about the time where you are watching your charts. If not, it's not going to happen every time PL, but something that could be helpful. Either adjusting the profit target, price target, the TP, or you can manually close for it. So I think that should be able to help. But on the other hand, it's not going to happen at every trade, and it's going to be part of winning and losing the trades as well, Peter. Okay. That's why I still prefer to trade on the long run, trading on the stock side, as market isn't really determined by 0.0 decimal points, and you have a lot of room to make your decisions. That is certainly the best thing, trading on the longer run. I mean, trading on the long run is I'm holding trades for weeks and for months, not just in a couple of hours or inside 1 hour. Definitely there's always a pros and cons. That's certainly the case, guys. Alright. Okay, great. So I think with the remaining time, I'll be giving us a little bit of a conclusion in a moment, and afterwards we'll see again on the VIP Live session. So let me try to take a look, and I'll be giving you guys the conclusions for tonight. Okay, so Steven, will the Supreme Group will have the one-to-one guide for long trade rather than short trade? I think it's a little bit hard to execute it, because at one point to really give out long-term trades, it's usually going to be very less because the confirmation is on the daily charts, and second, it's not going to be a lot of signals, but once you hit losses, it should be a little bit big, and once you hit wins, it's going to be a bit bigger too. And I'm not really seeing that a lot of people are suitable for that. So maybe on the case for long-term trades, I think it's really back towards individual preferences, and I think not a lot of people are used to it. So that's why we are not really sharing much on that side, and mostly inside the day the trades are already done. But I could consider to give out, but you guys need to be able to understand that usually the stop loss is really wide and the profit target is really long. That will always be the case for long-term trades. So that's why I rarely share it. Initially, I do share quite often, but I think not a lot of people could endure the patience and the waiting game, because sometimes it could take days and could be a week, guys, right? So it's not going to be an easy trade for those kind of market movements, but certainly it is executable. Not much, but it's going to be a testing for you guys to do the long-term trades. Okay, so usually for long-term trades, I will usually be opening a very small lot sizes depending on your account sizes, and to be able to do that really well. If not, if you're opening too big of a lot sizes, your trades on the normal basis should be affected too. So I think a lot of things should be considered on that side too. And if you're trading on one method, you couldn't be trading with a lot of style. You could actually affect your positions and your trading style, because I think despite there's a trading plan, I think it's going to impact your limitations on doing more trades if there's long-term trades, because one of the limitations is definitely the longer period of time, and two, not a lot of people are suitable. I think that's the biggest problem for longer term trades. And it comes back, maybe you can try to make some small trades for the long term and try to see how you are adjusting towards it. Maybe you can get a feel about it, just a very small portion of your size of trades, and try to see whether you can hold well on a longer term trades. Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of conclusions for tonight, so we've already been saying that the gold market should be able to hit the resistance at 3,400 and prices started to slow down, and right now we are going to see news on the US initial jobless claims, so we'll see how that goes. And it's also happening on the silver market too, where prices have already been going quite high, and I'm expecting the prices should be consolidating near the $35.50 area. So we'll see whether that happens or not. It's going to take some time before the news is released. And for the oil market, I think it's going to be moving on a ranging for most of the time for this week. And like I said, stock indices are a little bit appetizing, I would say. Prices are moving very well on the long term, so I think there's a good shot for this one. And on the currency side, I think I'll be waiting for more confirmations on AUD USD and NZD USD guys. Alright. Okay, so hopefully you guys got what you guys wanted, and hope you guys get the insights and the analysis that has been helpful for you guys. Alright, so hope to see you guys on the VIP live sessions, where I could be covering more what is happening and behind the scenes. And if you guys want to get premium signals, you guys could check my link on my profile or on the video descriptions and chat me that you guys wanted to get the free premium signals and no paying money guys, and also the exclusive insights that I'll be sharing on the VIP live sessions. Okay, so see you guys there. Bye.